How friggin' dare you? Unlike you lot, I'm deciding not to shit on a minority.
Hello? Yes, you are.
Come down here, see how that shit goes.
Like, this is literally threatening.
I swear to God, white cis gay guys are so f***ing annoying.
Straight in with the racism.
And gender-affirming care, like the ones you're saying, probably don't want nothing to do with you, bitch. So grow up.
I hope they want nothing to do with me. Hey guys, we're on to reacting to woke TikToks, and this podcast, I have a very special theme for you. It's called TikTokers Who Hate Me.
Human Gay Male is social events for gay men who reject gender identity ideology.
You massive wrong'un.
I mean, you can just see the utter disgust and hatred behind this woman's eyes before the video even starts. And would you not care to just brush your hair before you get on camera from your basement? Georgina, let's see what you have to say.
How friggin' dare you? How dare you? Can you imagine coming down to Kemp Town here in Brighton and spouting this nonsense? Can you imagine going to Canal Street in Manchester and spouting this nonsense?
Well, does she just think I have time to go frolicking around the UK spouting nonsense? I was interviewing James about his organization, Human Gay Male, which, by the way, I went to last week. It was really fun. So if anyone was there, hey, a lot of people there were already familiar with my channel, which was really cool. We were just talking about it, and she's somehow super offended that this even exists. But no, I'm not going to go to Kemp Town in Brighton because I live in London, bitch. And I'm way too busy.
Where's your community, mate? You're claiming to speak for gay men who are apparently upset that trans men are part of, like, defining themselves as gay men because...
Yes, we're upset that women think they can be gay men. How shocking.
That's obviously how they see themselves, because they're men who like other men.
Yeah, so we all see ourselves certain ways, you know. I see myself as extremely hilarious, but a lot of people don't think that. Maybe you guys are one of those people, but I'm not telling you that you have to tell me I'm hilarious. I would just really appreciate it if you did. They can identify as gay men. They're not. They're not.
Like other gay men. But yeah, you might want to have a go at me as someone who's not a member of the LGBTQA plus community. I'm a cisgender heterosexual woman. Yeah, I'll own that.
I mean, what? I don't want to play identity politics, but what audacity does Georgina, with her unbrushed hair in her mother's basement, with her box of half-eaten pizza next to her, think she can come on camera and say, how dare you, as a gay man, think that only gay men have penises and that people with vaginas, i.e. women, cannot be gay men? How dare you, part of a community that before my time had to convince society that we weren't perverts and simply because we like people of the same sex. How dare you try to protect that?
I'm middle-aged, I'm white, I'm privileged, just like you lot.
Babes, I really don't think you're privileged. There's a lot more God could have given you than what you're putting out there.
Unlike you lot, I'm deciding not to shit on a minority.
Hello, yes you are. That's exactly what you're effing doing.
And you people make me go,
Look at that face. Ugh. Georgina's just looking me up and down, you know. It looks like she's smelling herself after not showering for 5 days.
right, seriously, come down to Kemp Town. See how that goes down, because you are the tight white t-shirt brigade, as a friend of mine used to say. I used to have a friend at school who was a larger gentleman who didn't feel comfortable in the gay community because he was a larger gentleman, and too many cisgender, white, middle-class gay dudes treated him like he was less than human because he was a larger gentleman.
I think the only one that's less than human here is you, Georgina. How racist and how deeply homophobic and just the most vile person. Why did she call me the tight white t-shirt brigade? Look at the TikTok. Look at the shirt I'm wearing. That's not a t-shirt, first of all. It's not tight. And I didn't say anything about fat gay men. I just said things about the obese woman in the Olympics.
And yeah, I think you're one of them, aren't you, mate?
No. I've already declined your invite to effing Kemp Town.
Shh. Get out. Actually, no, don't get out. Come down here. See how that shit goes.
Like, this is literally threatening. This is the grossest TikTok that I've seen. And yes, it's about me, so that probably amplifies it. But gross in tone, in intention, in words, in appearance, in smell. Everything about it is disgusting. And I'm so sorry, Georgina, that you are so deeply unhappy with yourselves that all you have time to do from your mother's basement after eating your 2 Domino's pizzas is to target random gay men who are trying to defend the fact that only men have penises. And that's a pretty sad existence. I have some very exciting news, everyone. You can head on to Substack for my membership community. You will receive the full uncut versions of my videos. And if you knew anything about my video editing, you would see that I have to very sadly edit out all the bits I go a bit too far. If you subscribe to the Substack for a modest amount per month, you will be able to see all of those moments in glory. So if you want to support the channel and make sure I can get as high quality, as many videos as often as possible out to you, see the links in the description.
Exclusion as a gay person, that now LGBT is just a trend, that someone...
I swear to God, white cis gay guys are so fucking annoying. Thinking you have like a monopoly on being queer, think you have like a monopoly on being a victim of like homophobia and queerphobia.
Straight in with the racism. Bitch, you're white as well. It doesn't have anything to do with me being white. And I don't have a monopoly over queer because I'm not part of that shit anymore. I'm not queer. I'm just a homosexual. But the problem is now, this is what you guys don't get, is that there is no homosexual community left. There's no spaces that are just gay anymore. Every space is queer. Every venue in London that is something to do with gay is LGBTQIA. It is queer. And queer means straight girls, i.e. Bambi Thug, rancid Bambi Thug, who I talked about in this video, can identify as queer. And then there is literally no gay event or venue in existence. And that is true. So that's what I'm trying to say.
You do not represent me as a gay Irish man, Bambi Thug. Like, did they claim they did?
So I don't have an English accent. I have an Irish accent. So good attempt.
Oh, I miss the days when things were more homophobic. Oh, I miss the days of Freddie Mercury and David Bowie. Like, you know, people gave them shit about the gay stuff too.
All right, Governor. I'll just go down making a few TikToks about la-dee-da, the queer community. I don't sound like that. Good try. I mean, Northern Americans are always terrible at accents. I'm sorry.
And we're like grilling and chewing them out on live TV about the gay stuff. David Bowie recloseted himself at the height of the AIDS crisis.
David Bowie was most likely autogynephilic. Just saying.
The Overton window has shifted. You are now the conservative. You are now the boom. The youngs are taking it too far now. Okay, Grandpa, like, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Okay, that's the first time that's ever happened to me. Life is so cruel. Nothing lasts forever. Oh, but yeah, I'm 30. I'm not that old. You know what? Never been happier. So F you. And stop putting on that cringe Cockney accent, which I don't have. And that's it. I'm sorry, Americans. And, you know, I'm very lucky that around 40% of my viewership is from the US. So love you guys. But you do tend to conflate Europeans with just all being the same. It's actually every country in Europe is just vastly different in terms of its culture and its language. So when people just kind of view it as all a bit of a mush, and when they view the UK and Ireland as like just the same thing, you're very wrong. So it really annoys me, tangent, but when people say like, "Oh my God, I'm going on vacation to Europe," it's like, you know, where in Europe? Anyway,
Like your whole thing just screams of someone who is used to being treated like the main character of the LGBT community and is like very scandalized that they're not anymore, and that instead of white cis gay guys, it's now like white non-binary goths.
oh Jesus Christ, please let not it be white non-binary goths. I was never at the center of attention, if I'll let you know. I just want there to be some normalcy in gay people, and I'm going to keep speaking out on this at least until you stop blocking gay kids' puberties, okay? That's all I'm asking. And it's bitches like you, non-binary girls on T, who are like, oh my God, save trans kids. Trans kids deserve to grow up. Block gay kids' puberty. No, I'm not having it.
Who are like becoming more public facing in the community. Like stop complaining about young people being cooler than you and go gentrify something like you're supposed to.
Bambi Thug, rancid Bambi Thug, is older than me. Pretty sure she's 32. And this is, I've talked about her before. She said, I didn't come out till I was 28. Oh. Makes my blood boil, the ridiculousness of it. So I'm not talking about the younger people. I'm not talking about the younger people. What are you even holding? Like some gross... Is that like a blender full of piss? That's what it looks like. Just get ready, because this is another non-binary testosterone. Binary shit is literally just the new goth and emo by then getting double mastectomies with no...
This is probably one of the most transphobic shit I have ever seen as a non-binary person. And it's... ugh. I mean, you're so obsessed with someone else's genitalia and what they do for their gender journey. I'm just gonna let you...
The only person's genitalia I'm obsessed with is my boyfriend's. Hate to break it to you. I have no interest in being anywhere near yours.
know that probably the people that are having these that are getting gender affirming care, like the ones you're saying, probably don't want nothing to do with you, bitch. So grow up.
I hope they want nothing to do with me. I'd be pretty alarmed if this person was at my door.
Stop being a snowflake. So who cares? Who cares that the non-binary people are getting gender affirming care? They probably want nothing to do with you.
Girl, I'm not asking for us to be best friends. What I was trying to describe in that video is that you have vulnerable girls who have autism or have been sexually assaulted, who now think the answer is to escape their body and start identifying as not female. And that leads them getting their breasts cut off, which is body mutilation. And it's an issue. It's an issue.
So it doesn't really affect your life. You're on here complaining, these people are like this and it's so dystopian and they're like goth people now.
It is dystopian. We're going to look back on this and be like, what the hell? But it does affect my life because, like I said, this movement means that there's no homosexual spaces left. And this is part of the movement. And the wokeism is part of the movement. And the far left ideas are part of the movement. And this is one of them, that chopping off your breasts is somehow a celebration of truth and not a tragedy. And it's the same people who are influencing young gay boys that they're actually girls. And I have an invested interest in that. We did not progress as far as we are to then just say, oh, well, you know, we have our rights, people accept us. Why don't we just turn all the gay kids into women? No.
Ugh. Grow up. This is basically like the whole... this reminds me of the whole argument with trans children that...
She sounds like she can't breathe. She alright?
Conservatives are like, these little kids are getting surgeries. These people are getting... children are getting gender-affirming surgeries and they're mutilating our children.
Do you have any legitimate arguments against these claims? Then just be like, ooh, like, what is this? But you'll see that they just sensationalize and make fun and use inflammatory language and say you're transphobic without actually debating the actual arguments.
And then it turns out that these surgeries barely happen, and there's laws in place to restrict them. So these people go up in arms for it anyway. This is what this video is giving me that vibe of. Promoting.
Oh, I'm giving you the vibe. It doesn't matter if they're barely happening. If they're happening at all, it's totally wrong. And we have medical proof in the UK of that fact from the CAS report.
Hatred, for one, against non-binary people, and for two, misinformation. The misinformation being that these surgeries are trendy and meh. If these surgeries are so trendy, why aren't we seeing more people like this? Why aren't we seeing influencers doing this if it's so trendy?
Pretty sure you are. Is it not every other day? It's like, this is my voice, 5 days on T. Another YouTube channel. When I was in my teens, I came across these trans influencers documenting their transition. So there very much is. And it's not like everyone and their mom is transitioning, but you do have a minority of vulnerable people who are isolated, who have neurodivergency, who are being swept up into this cult. So yes, it's not every other person on the street. It's still a minority of people overall, but it deserves to be talked about because it's not fair that these people are just collateral damage.
It's not. It's scary as shit being a non-binary person in today's society. I should know because I'm non-binary. I mean, the walking out and living your life as you are with the threat of people attacking you physically, verbally, and being barred from businesses.
Barred from businesses, what? Because you have a shaved head and wear a rainbow thing that says love?
I mean, I can't visit a lot of countries because of my gender identity.
You can't go to a lot of countries. Any country you can't go to is just countries that people in general can't go to, you know, like Iran. You know, we don't be going there on holiday. No. You're not going to go to Italy or Germany and someone spot you as some non-binary freak and want to tear you down.
And because how I present. But it's people like you who make...
You know, having a shaved head is not a new concept. That doesn't automatically mean you're no longer a woman, even if you take testosterone.
all this uproar over little things, just gender-affirming care that does not affect you whatsoever, is what bothers me and is what's promoting that hatred. But I'm gonna end this video off at a high note, and just let people know that don't listen to people like this, because honey, they're a waste of your time. Do what you feel is right for you, and make that decision yourself. Don't let any other person influence you. That's all for me.
See how they learn how to speak in this cultish language? Don't listen to them. We love you. We're here for you. Cut off your breasts. Don't listen to the cis white gay guy. Cut off your breasts. If it's right for you, take the testosterone. Shave your head and then tell everyone that you can't walk outside for fear of being murdered. That's a really good lifestyle to have. We're all so happy. That was a lot.